Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Volume 8 from Manga Entertainment, and all links in the description of where you can get this. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And with that, let's just jump straight into it. We're at the very beginning of the tournament. Frieza has been recruited because Majin Buu fell asleep. With Frieza, you kind of think, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? You don't really know. From this, it's around about another 5 episodes until we actually get the beginning of the actual tournament. And I kind of think that these were kind of filler episodes that we didn't really kind of need that much. And that's what kind of really irritates me in this. But when we start the tournament, everyone kind of like pounds on Goku to try and get him out of the tournament because everybody hates him for starting this entire thing. We also get the gods fighting each other, trying to try out the ring. That I also liked. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it. If I didn't say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell for more content if you like this. At the very beginning of this, you do see everybody go for Goku. I think that if they thought that they could take him out, I think the rest of the Universe 7 would be a lot easier to kind of take down. I think it gets kind of annoying because you want to see all these fights get kind of spread out rather than, oh, here's like 5 people against Goku. They've been taken out quite quickly. They do it much later on, but at the very beginning, it just seems like they get rid of the weaker characters first. At the very beginning, you have the trio brothers. You have from the previous volume, Go for Goku. But I really like the fact that Goku and Gohan came up with an idea to stop the poison. That I thought was a great idea, and that's something that you come up with straight away. This guy can poison us and take us down really quickly. We have no way of healing. Let's create an energy barrier that reflects the poison. I thought it was a perfect match, and it was good to see them like come up with ideas. That I actually thought was a very good planning. Even Vegeta uses it. So at some point when they're all together, they actually thought of this, but you didn't see it until now. So it was a good way to kind of get the ball rolling. With Frieza, he is quite nasty at this. He isn't the same. He literally wants to play with all the people, taking them down, making sure that they hurt and suffer. And this, even though I don't like the character that much, I really like the traits for this. This to me was great. You also had like the other characters like jump in from time. If one of the characters, like say Gohan, was getting kind of bombarded, you know, Goku or Piccolo, they would jump in and try and take it away from Gohan, like, you know, from the character. That I generally really like the teamwork, because when this first announced, I generally thought it was just going to be everyone go for whatever. There is a bad guy, Goku goes for that bad guy, Frieza goes for this person, and that would be it. But you know, the main plan that Gohan comes up with is everyone's kind of sticks together. Now, before I jump into more of the tournament, I will go back to the very beginning, where you see how Frieza and Goku kind of fight each other. So Frieza State goes on the team of Goku. He was going to turn around and kind of like backstab Goku. I didn't like that. I feel like if you're going to give your promise to someone and say, yeah, I'll help out, and then kind of try and get around that, or backstab, or say, I'll get so far and then I'll get rid of my universe. I generally think this is the main idea, but I generally could imagine just Beerus going, destroyed, you're gone. And then they find someone else. Cell would have been a good, perfect person to bring this in. I think all the other universes, I can't remember which one that goes against Goku and Frieza, but for them to have all these ninjas, all these people going around using destruction energy, I absolutely hated the kind of the backstabbing. I much would have preferred it all happening in the tournament rather than the same sort of thing. It just felt like it was a very big kind of waste of it. But it was kind of interesting to see Goku against God Energy and stuff like that. So let's jump now back to the tournament, because I didn't want it all to be focused on the tournament that we're talking about. One thing I didn't like about Goku's kind of attitude was that it felt like Goku had dibs on every single person. So you'd see stuff like one punch would be thrown against Goku. He'd think that that was his teammate, but then someone would come in, or they would change to someone else. And he's like, no fair. Hang on a minute. He was my person. I was the one fighting. You're cheating. It generally wound me up constantly, because it felt like, you know, you might as well just have Goku on the line going like, I'm going to go against everybody. I don't care. I'm not going to give anyone anything. And I hated that trait. Now, I didn't hate it in Japanese, but hearing Goku whine in English, oh my God, it was annoying. And I generally just wanted someone just to go, right, Goku, you're focusing on this person. Focus on Jiren. Go for him. Don't touch anyone else. And, you know, seeing Goku go like, I'm going to get fired up. I'm going to do this, generally wound me up constantly. At the end of the day, this is a battle royale. Everyone's got to do it. And Goku's selfishness for his fighting generally pisses me off constantly. When Goku teams up with Vegeta to go against the 9th universe, I loved it. I loved the whole fighting. I loved the Big Bang Kamehameha. I think it was the Big Bang Kamehameha they do. Well, basically their own versions, but not combined. I thought that was great, or it may be in a Final Flash. I just generally really like this sort of teamwork where they would work together. They would make sure that it was perfect. That, to me, was what I wanted to see most of the time in this tournament. Now, at the very beginning, Gohan comes up with this idea of go to the middle, stay there, you know, wait for everyone to kind of go for you. And the Supreme Kai goes like, yeah, everyone's gonna do that. No one really did that. It was just literally, oh, every man for himself, go for it. Everyone like kind of spread out. I would have loved if everyone just did that and they were all around the time pillar and they were just like punching each other and stuff. But obviously people kind of spread out over time. People just left that formation. They stuck to the plan for a little bit, but then they obviously moved out. Like one thing that made me laugh was Vegeta versus Batamu. I thought it was funny. I also hated Frost in this. Generally think he's a dick. Didn't like him when we first met him. Absolutely hated him. But I did like kind of Cabba's way when he was like walking towards Vegeta and like two people just like jump him and he's like backhands them like they're nothing and they get knocked out. I absolutely adored that. I really like Cabba. I would love him to be more kind of focused in the next like major arc for Dragon Ball or after that one. You know, seeing these characters that have just come up, I would love to see more of, you know, much later on. But yeah, I just love Cabba just backhanding these characters straight away. It also kind of brought in kind of nods from other like sagas. So where Caulifla goes like, I found another mode, and she bulks up to Ultra Saiyan to go against Goku, but it just doesn't work. I love that. You know, it made me think of Trunks and go, oh yeah, Trunks did that. And I like the way that Goku's like, yeah, that form works, but you lose speed. So, you know, you've got more power, but you don't have the speed. And it's just generally a really nice kind of throwback to it. Now, the introductions to Cauliflower and Kale. I really like these characters, I really do. I can see why they got so much hate originally with back tingles and transforming and Kale turning into the legendary Super Saiyan. I understand that, but I think it was kind of, the hate was not justified all the time. So I kind of like the fact that it felt like back in the day of Z where someone became Super Saiyan. And obviously they go past their limits and stuff, and they go to the next levels and stuff. But I think they kind of, because it was a different universe, I understood why they went, oh yeah, just think this, your back tingles and then boom, you're a Super Saiyan, rather than going through blood and sweat. But yeah, we don't know too much about these characters, so maybe they were on the level of transforming anyway. So the introduction to these girls I absolutely loved, and Caulifla is one of my favorite characters. Yeah, seeing Caulifla go Super Saiyan reminds me of Goku, and then obviously they're kind of, the way that they wanted to push all this to get stronger, again, reminded me of back in the day of Z, where they were like, yeah, we want to become stronger. I have to push like this. Goku always does it, and we see it. But now seeing other characters wanting to reach that level, and all the way through, and like, we need to know too. Super Saiyan 3, oh my god. And then literally much later on, this is another review, where Caulifla's like, I want to reach your level of blue Ultra Instinct. I like that determination all the way through for the character. You know, it was perfect to me. There's a moment where Caulifla is talking to Goku, and she wants to become like a Super Saiyan, and they're kind of like bulking up and they're showing. And they're fighting, and then Kale says like, you know, hey, like, you shouldn't be doing this. There's a moment where Kale throws like an energy ball and Goku just knocks it away, or it hits him. He's like, what was that? You know, and he's really rude to her. He's like, you know, can you not attack? I'm having a fight here. When Kale asks Caulifla, hey, is there a problem? Like, you know, am I getting in the way? And she just gives that stern look away. And literally, I was like, oh, snap. Oh no, damn. And that's when Kale just goes absolutely berserk. But it was just Caulifla's look that really made me go, oh. But then you just see Broly mode, and the way that she like goes for Goku. You see the same like moves that Broly did in the films, you know, even from the old one to the new one. Dear God, it was just an impressive fight. And then just Jiren just stepping in when he's like, yeah, this is a bit of a problem, and just knocks her away. Oh dear God, was that something like explosive. I would have loved to have seen a full-on fight though between those two. I think that would have been worth an entire episode or half an episode just dedicated to that, because I would love to see how far Kale would go in this enraged mode. I think it would have been kind of cool if she was just about to defeat Jiren and then suddenly she just lost all her power. This would have made this even better. Okay, the Pride Troopers. The Pride Troopers annoyed the crap out of me. It was always everything for justice. No matter what, justice this, justice that. And it wound me up to the point where I was just like, do you know what? Why are you even in here? You know, I can understand Jiren and Topo. I can understand those two, but they just be like, justice will always prevail. They did do the Super Sentai thing and the Power Ranger thing, you know, with their moves. That was great. But it just got so irritating after a while where justice this and justice that. Hated it. 17 and 18, loved them. Think that they could have soloed a lot more people with their speed. I don't know why they didn't, because I think that you see this, I think later on, I don't know if it's in this volume or next one, where 17 is just so fast where he's against one of Ribrianne's like enemies. I was like, why isn't 17 just whipping with speed and knocking people out or beating them a lot easier? It just kind of got to me, but I did love it when 17 and 18 fought together. Again, it was a massive kind of like throwback to like Trunks and stuff like that, and I absolutely loved it. One thing I really liked, and everyone has said it on the internet, is when someone transforms, you know, why do people kind of stick about? So when Ribrianne's, like her and her two friends are transforming, 17 just throws in an energy blast and boom, everyone gets really mad, including Goku, where he's like pointing it out. I love that because you never see it. Like everyone powers up. You never see like a blast being like hit, so they go boom. But I generally thought that was kind of fun. I'm glad that they kind of put that into kind of mock transformations a little bit. Ribrianne, I absolutely hated. Everything had to be for love. Everything is what she was doing was for love. I generally think if she had the chance to go to everyone, if they believed it, like, oh, if you believe in love, then you'll all jump off the ring, so we win. I absolutely hated Ribrianne. I can see why the fandom hates her. It was just that whole element of like love, 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 like it's the whole universe is gotta have love. And later on, like in the next volume, where she has to go at 18 for loving Krillin, I absolutely hated it. But Ribrianne, I really wish she was knocked out a lot quicker. I just hated the transformations. I absolutely hated her universe, and just, I just wanted her to be out of the tournament really quickly. Now, some of the more admirable stories was Gohan fighting this guy from another universe that could shift his energy. I can't remember his name, but when they actually talked and you saw that this guy was fighting for his family, I really like that because I think it struck well with Gohan, because he was thinking, well, you know, I've got a family as well. I've got to kind of like help them and make them believe it. I genuinely kind of like that storyline. And when the universe was wiped out and you could see the photo of the family and that just disappeared as well, I've been cool. I think one thing I would have liked is if the guy knew he was going to be knocked out, then he would give it to Gohan and say, you can keep this. This is now yours. And that could be a reminder that Gohan would fight. But I really like that. I just wish there was maybe a little bit more of this in the entire whole series. Seeing Goku go through all the kind of transformations really worked well. I really liked that you could see them all the time. His tactics that he used were perfect. It just made this a little bit extra to kind of give it a little bit more oomph, and it did work. In closing, Hit using his abilities to go against Dispo and Kinishi, that was fun to see. I liked Hit's ability. I generally thought that he'd be able to use a bit more on all the characters, and he could solo a lot of them as well. But again, you don't really see it that much in this volume, but it's definitely worth it when he's in the next one. My final thoughts on this. I feel like everything had paid off. The hype leading up to the tournament, this is what Dragon Ball Super needed, was a massive fighting arc rather than just a quick saga and stuff. I'm glad that the whole thing carried on for such a long time, that it worked really, really well. There are a ton of abilities with different characters, so I'm glad that you kind of focus on some of them. I'm also glad that it brings in characters that you hate, characters that you love. Mainly, I hate Ribrianne. But having these little things inside made it worth it a bit more, so you could form like, oh, that universe was really cool, I like them, That universe I absolutely hated, etc, etc. The animation stays absolutely constant in this, and that's what I like. It does change in the later part of it, because it gets better. I'm guessing more and more funding in it. But yeah, the animation was spot on. I didn't really see any kind of problems. You know, I think it was quite easy enough once you had all the kind of stationary parts, like there isn't too much of the background, you know, everything was there. So that kind of worked well. Everything was kind of perfect. One thing that did kind of annoy me is when they talk about the arena, how strong it is, like this is the most strongest material in the universe, nothing can break it. And then much later on, you just see a lot of destruction. It just makes me think, why would you put it in there? Why would you do that? You know, it's destroyed pretty quickly on it. For this one, I recommend getting it. If you just want fighting, this is the kind of lead up that you need to buy to kind of see it. So I highly recommend this one. It's really cool. I enjoyed it. You know, I've watched it quite a few times. I just enjoyed the entire saga. Lead up to it is really good. So would I say that the lead up is worth it? Yes, it is. So I am gonna leave it there. What are your thoughts? Did you like the Tournament of Power? Do you hate Ribrianne? And also, what did you think about this saga? Let me know down below in the comments. If you've liked this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.